I'll be very honest with you. I'm in the real estate business myself, but I'm not a broker. I just manage properties. I don't know if you ever heard of Homestead Management, but I just manage co-ops. And I'm not used to financing, so I would need you to tell me what terms you
Okay.
Are you looking for 5 years? Are you looking for, I don't know what you're looking for.
Well, it kind of depends on, it kind of depends on, how long you'd be willing to finance it. I don't have to go 30 years out on financing. I would like to. I'd like to go as long as you would let me, but I don't have to. It just depends on how long you think you can live with just kicking back and going to your mailbox every single month and getting a check and not have to worry about that darn thing. Because it would be monthly income for you, but knowing that, I've got to have some monthly income on it as well, in case something goes out in it, and I've got to manage it, and I've got to make a little bit of a profit on that thing. So maybe what we probably need to do is figure out what kind of price you can sell it at, and how much cushion you can give me, and what kind of monthly payments. How much do you think if I had it appraised next week, how much do you think that appraisal would come in at?
Well, originally, the last time we did an appraisal was about close to a year ago, or 6 months ago, and it was around 450, 460. It was in that range, but it was, that's the range I got.
Okay.
But you do your own appraisal. I don't want you to take my word.
Well, no, I'm just trying to get as much. No, I'm going to run my own values on there, but I always try to figure it out before. I try to do as much work on the phone as I can, so that I know that I'm not wasting my time and I'm not wasting yours. It's better that
I don't want you to waste your time. Definitely. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to get as much info as I can. I like to get these things kind of wrapped up about 90%, and by the time I go out to the house, I just want to be in a position where I'm just laying my eyes on it and making sure that it is in the condition that we're saying that it's in, and the situation is what it is. So I guess we just pretty much need to figure out how long you want that income, and you know what, those adjustable rates though, that's kind of got me a little concerned, because if we go in this thing and say, okay, you need to make about, I'm just throwing this out, let's say you need to make $500 a month cash flow, and I'm just using that as an example. I don't know where we're going to be. But now all of a sudden, if your rate adjusts on you and it goes up, then your 500 is not going to be 500 anymore, and then so.
Well, how much? I mean, percentage-wise, you don't have to tell. How much were you thinking of putting down?
Well, as little, honestly, as little as you'll let me put down. I like to keep a reserve on hand just in case something happens, just in case that plumbing does go. It sounds like you've done some pretty good work to it, but you just never know, especially with with tenants in there. You just never know. One day you get that phone call and they say, "Hey, we've got a major leak out here," or something. I need to have a little, something to manage that thing with, and make sure I have some reserves. So, you know what? Why don't we do this? Why don't we just kind of table this for a day or two, and in the meantime, I'll be doing a little bit of research, but what I want you to do is figure out, how little you'll let me put down, and how long you'll finance that thing out for me for, and what kind of payments you'll let me go with, and
Right. See, I didn't hear from Adele. What's her name?
Adelfi. She's been out of town. Actually, we were both pretty much out of town for a business seminar, and it was about almost 7 days with travel. So we've been pretty much out of town, and I meant to call you yesterday, but all of a sudden I didn't realize the time went by, and I didn't realize how late it was.
See, what happened was she was supposed to call me weeks ago, and I thought that, maybe she wasn't interested anymore, so I put it out of my mind.
Right. No, actually what happens is she's a pretty high volume investor, and she looks at a lot of property. She tries to buy several a month if she can, and sometimes you just get so busy, especially with how many houses on the market right now. The competition is pretty fierce with people trying to sell right now.
Right.
So sometimes you just kind of get caught up in the minutia of all these deals coming in, and every now and then want to fall in between the and through the cracks. And yours almost did, but it landed on my desk, and I'm following up with you. So.
Right.
Okay. I tell you what. Why don't we try to call you during the week and let you just kind of think about your numbers and crunch some numbers on there, and if you think that thing will appraise out at 450, I sure would like to get it below 400,000.
I can't go below 4. I bought it above 4.
Yeah. How long ago did you buy it though?
5 years ago.
Yeah, but we know the market's pretty much depreciated. I'm just worrying about it appraising now. I mean, it probably won't appraise for what it appraised for 6 months ago.
Right.
So I mean, a year ago you were at 450. I mean, odds are good that it's going to be. It may be in the threes. It may be in the mid threes. I mean, I don't know. I haven't done my homework yet, but you know, it may be down there.
Right. Well, then I guess I'm gonna have to wait because I bought it before.
Okay. What do you think your walkaway number would be?
I mean, the most I could go down to is like 450. I mean, because I bought it almost at 450, and I put in over $30,000 into the house between all the renovations, the roof, and the hot water heater. The hot water heater was almost $5,000.
Wow. Wow, that's an expensive hot water heater.
Because it tied into the boiler.
Sure. But you've got to understand this too. Now, if I go in there and pay you for everything that you've done, I mean, I would expect for you to get value out of it. Then you know, it's like I paid for all of it, and I didn't even own the property.
No, I know. It's just that I bought it for the mid fours, and I can't between. I'm gonna have to also. You gotta also remember, I have to pay the county tax and the transfer tax.
Oh, I understand. I'm just trying to figure out where we're standing. You know, if we think it'll, you know, appraises at 450, I really can't come in and pay 450 because I've got no cushion. I mean, if that hot water heater went out again, I'd be negative $5,000.
Right.
So, and I just don't think that thing appraised. I mean, do you think that the property appreciated since you bought it?
Well, with the market,
Yeah, with the way the market is, most likely it depreciated. So what happens if the appraisal comes in lower? I mean, if it appraised at 450 a year ago, I just don't see it appraising now for 450.
Right.
And I can't come in and pay more than what it'll appraise for. But now I can pay you more as long as if terms are favorable, as far as if I can get, you know, low payments per month and cash flow per month, I can pay you more as far as an end number. But you know, I prefer not to come in and pay $450 for a property that we even question that it may appraise at $450. And I'm not trying to you know, beat you up on the deal over the phone. I'm just trying to get to, you know, just trying to fill out the waters to see exactly where we're looking at and to see if this is going to be one that I'm going to pursue, or if I'm going to have to go down the road on the three others that I'm looking at. I'm just trying to figure out what's going to be my best move, and I mean, if you're in my shoes, it's going to be hard to even cash flow at, you know, buying something at 450, and if it appraises at 450, unless I got some kind of payments that didn't include any interest. If I had principal only payments, then I may be interested in that.
Right. The only thing, like I said, I've never dealt with financing. So you would have to give me the terms, and then I would have to find out if it's okay or not.
Okay, why don't we do this too? Because I'm having a hard time pulling up properties that are comparable to it. If you could do me a favor, if you know of any of them that are kind of like yours in the area, if you can find those addresses for me, or maybe even the addresses that your appraiser used on his appraisal, and I'll get with Adelfi. What's that?
Try 37 Spruce. There was 37 Spruce, which is a 3-family.
How far away is it?
Right next door.
Okay. How much did it sell for?
I know it recently sold. I'm just trying. I don't know what it sold for.
Okay, I'll look that up.
I would be making it up. I don't want to give you wrong numbers.
I appreciate that.